O Mother Nui, stretch high above this valley. Your starry body is our glory. Then see the hawk of yonder Ahurquit, his fiery splendor, oh so mighty. He brings a light for all our weary souls. He makes the broken spirit whole.
Picture a yoga mat in an Austin, Texas wellness studio, and then like a church pew in rural Poland. You'd probably think they exist in completely different universes. I mean, one is all about spiritual energy, right, and finding meaning outside the system, while the other is deeply rooted in centuries of inherited authority. But the sources we are deep diving into today, well, they reveal a real-time mystery where these two total opposites are somehow driving off the exact same cliff. Okay, let's unpack this. How are alternative wellness seekers and Orthodox religious followers secretly converging toward the exact same destructive goal?
Yeah, it's a profound structural shift. I mean, they have completely different aesthetics and vocabularies, obviously.
Yeah.
But if you track their movement instead of just, their surface beliefs, they actually point in the identical direction.
Right. So let's trace that movement. I get how someone starts looking for alternative health solutions, but how exactly does a search for wellness turn into, like, a desire for societal collapse?
Well, it happens through disillusionment. So in the esoteric or wellness path, a person starts looking for hidden energy or natural healing. But when mainstream systems dismiss or mock them, that skepticism really hardens.
It becomes something much bigger.
Exactly. It slides from believing, say, institutional medicine is flawed, into a rigid conspiracy that the Matrix, which is their term for the entire global social order, is a malevolent trap designed to control them.
And on the flip side, the Orthodox path.
They start with mainstream tradition, but as culture rapidly shifts, they develop a persecution narrative. So theories like the Great Replacement take hold, where demographic changes are viewed as an intentional plot to erase them.
Oh, wow. So the world isn't just flawed anymore, it's an active existential threat to the in-group.
Right. Both paths arrive at this terrifying acronym in the research, TINPS. There is no political solution. Because, if the system is completely evil, you can't vote to fix it.
So you embrace accelerationism. You actually want to violently speed up the collapse of society. Wait, is this like a cultural horseshoe theory? But instead of just meeting in the middle, both sides are like holding hands as they drive off a cliff?
What's fascinating here is that the horseshoe analogy almost doesn't go far enough. They don't just meet, they completely abandon the concept of reform. Once they share the stabilizing conviction that the global order is irredeemable, their theological disagreements vanish.
They just want to burn it all down?
Yeah, it becomes purely about burning the system down for a totalizing replacement.
Here's where it gets really interesting, but also where I get stuck. If this path leads straight to violent destruction, why aren't people jumping ship? Why don't smart, spiritually grounded people notice that their core values are being stripped away?
Because the transformation is disguised by a mechanism called hollowing out. They meticulously preserve the familiar external symbols of the tradition. So the wellness practitioner still talks about higher consciousness, and the religious follower still holds the cross.
But something is missing on the inside.
Exactly. The internal ethical constraints of those traditions are quietly gutted. The primary casualty is what theologians call kenosis.
Kenosis. Remind me what that means in this context.
It's the act of self-emptying, or basically laying down your own power for others. So like the command for enemy love is removed. The servant is replaced by the warrior. The sources actually refer to this hostile takeover of the mind as an archontic neurological infection.
An archontic infection? That sounds like a virus from a sci-fi movie?
It does, but it's actually rooted in ancient Gnostic frameworks.
Yeah.
The Gnostics warned about the counterfeit light, picturing it as this mechanical leviathan.
A mechanical leviathan.
Yeah, imagine a multi-eyed, inorganic beast that drapes itself in the symbols of all these different faiths. It mimics divine truth just enough to capture your imagination, but its real purpose is to funnel you into a system of control.
So you think you're walking into the light, but you're actually stepping right into the machine. Okay, but if this mechanical leviathan is hijacking people's faith and wellness practices right in front of us, why isn't society sounding the alarm?
Because both paths use highly effective, yet totally opposite, camouflage. So the religious accelerationism hides behind the cover of legitimacy. It has institutional resources, political access, historic weight.
I mean, so when extremism pops up there, society often just dismisses it as a fringe deviation rather than like a real structural threat.
Right. And the wellness path gets ignored for the exact opposite reason. It hides behind the protection of mockery.
Because we just laugh it off.
Exactly. When we see conspirituality, this blend of conspiracy theories and spirituality, we tend to dismiss them as just irrational grifters. But because we're laughing, we don't take the threat seriously.
And while we're laughing, it's sneaking into our daily lives. The sources outline this tactic called HYPE, hybridized prefatory extremism. This isn't just happening in dark web forums, right? It's infiltrating hiking clubs, professional sports fandoms, and your regular social media feeds.
Yeah, and it frequently uses what the sources call cute accelerationism. By wrapping violent, anti-system ideologies in internet aesthetics, irony, and cute memes, well, it bypasses your critical thinking.
Because a meme makes a joke out of societal collapse, which lowers your psychological barriers.
Exactly. And before you know it, the violence feels normalized.
It's basically a trap disguised as a meme. So how do you actually fight a beast that hides in plain sight like that?
If we connect this to the bigger picture, recognizing the deception requires restoring those authentic anchors we talked about.
Right.
We have to reclaim positive kenosis.
Actually emptying out our desire for dominance.
Right. Returning to a true politics of compassion, rather than just treating reality like some zero-sum cage fight.
So what does this all mean? I guess it means that when you are convinced the entire world is corrupt beyond repair, burning it down starts to feel like clarity. But that clarity is an illusion, a counterfeit light that only takes hold when we let our ethical anchors slip away.
Yeah, we really have to look past the symbols people wear and look at the direction they actually walking.
Which leaves you with one final thought to explore on your own. If ancient Gnostic warnings of a mechanical Leviathan perfectly described the digital radicalization pulling that Austin yoga mat and that Polish church pew off the exact same cliff, well, what happens to human belief when modern artificial intelligence is inevitably programmed to simulate this exact same counterfeit light?